Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today, we're going to be covering something that I've been working on. Last year, Minecraft made a YouTube video talking about Illagers, and in that video, they basically confirmed that in the near future, they will be expanding upon Illagers a lot more. Now, when this update will come, or what it will include, we don't know yet. But I also asked you guys what you would like to see in an Illager-themed update. And I have added some things into the game. Now, one thing I'm going to quickly just mention, this isn't available for download yet. If you guys want to see a download for it, do let me know in the comments. I will obviously polish it up, add more features, and also if you have any suggestions for features I show in the video, do leave them in the comments. Now, when I asked you guys what you wanted to see within this update, most people said they wanted to see Illagers from other games, like Minecraft Dungeons. Well, I've added the Geomancer. This is a mob from Minecraft Dungeons. Obviously, I've simplified it a lot because Minecraft Dungeons uses a lot of magic and things like that, where Minecraft doesn't. Now, the Geomancer will spawn walls around the player, as you can see right here, and then they will disappear after a while. They do also have a chance to explode. That time they did. So the Geomancer isn't really an aggressive mob because it doesn't technically deal direct damage to the player. It more just blocks them in. Now, none of these mobs drop anything when they are killed, just because drops are something that I still need to work out. Now, as for where the Geomancer spawns, I think it would be really cool if the Geomancer spawned inside of raids, because then they could kind of block you in so other mobs can get to you, like pillagers or vindicators. Because, for example, if you're in a raid and you just have a load of blocks around you, obviously it's very easy to get through, as you can see, but it just adds that little obstacle that would be kind of annoying, and if you are too close when they explode, that does deal damage. I am also saving the best feature till last, so make sure you stick around for that. The next mob is the Enchanter. Now, this mob will spawn inside of woodland mansions, and the Enchanter basically gives woodland mansion mobs a buff. So if I was to spawn a Vindicator, for example, because these obviously appear in raids, if I place it near it, you can see it does effect, and it grants the mob a potion effect. Now, the potion effect can be speed, it can be regen, it can be strength, and I've just noticed it does it more than once. It shouldn't technically do that. It should only grant the mob one effect and then wait for that effect to wear out and then grant it again. So, for example, the effect is now worn out, so if it comes close enough again, it will grant a brand new one. That time, I think it got speed. I'm not too sure what that blue color is. So I just had a look at the code because I coded this quite a few weeks ago. The effects it can give is speed, regen, resistance, and then also absorption. But once again, if you have one of these inside of a woodland mansion running around and enchanting all the mobs, it's going to make them harder to kill, especially with the effects it does grant, because it grants buffs to the mobs. It won't grant buffs to players. For example, as you can see, it will just run away from me. Now, currently none of these spawn naturally. That is just because I'm still deciding if they should spawn in the places I've given them. Now, the next mob, which I know definitely where it's going to spawn, this is the Iceologer. This will spawn in the peaks of the mountains, just like it was if it won the mob vote. Now, the Iceologer is exactly what it does. If you go near it as a player, it will spawn ice chunks above your head that fall down and crack. Now, if they fall down and hit you, so let's quickly just let them hit me, you can see they are going to deal quite a lot of damage, and they're also going to freeze me. So one ice block with no armor leaves you on about 4 hearts. Now, if this one was to once again do it again, I would probably die from it. And that is all the Iceologer does. And once again, I don't really know what these would drop. In theory, a lot of people would say they would drop a ice spear or something that you can then use to summon the ice cubes above other mobs' head. But honestly, I don't see that as something that Minecraft would add if they was to add the Iceologer. So that is the 3 Illagers that I have currently added. Now, I have added one other thing, which I think is really, really cool. Ravagers inside of the game are obviously a mob that Illagers ride, but there is no way for a player to ride. As you can see, if I try to click on this, nothing is happening. There is no way to tame these. They are fully aggressive, and you can only kill them or capture them for a display. Well, what if you could get a passive Ravager? Now, once again, I don't exactly know how this would be obtained because it would be something that would obviously need balancing. My current thought was maybe there's a chance to get some kind of egg from killing a Ravager, or maybe it could just be found naturally within the world. If I spawn this Ravager in, you can see it's got emerald chains to kind of maybe resemble the fact that maybe villagers have captured it to make it passive, and then have replaced the iron looking chains for ones that obviously match their theme. Now, if I was to click on this, you can see I start riding it, and then I can move around on it. Now, you cannot jump as it. If I try to jump, you can see nothing is happening. Now, the cool thing about this Ravager is I can attack as it. Obviously, the Ravager has a stun attack, and if I was to punch, you can see it starts to do its attack animation, and then it deals damage to the mobs. Now, this Ravager is probably going to come and try and kill me, so let's quickly just do the attack animation again. It does do the exact same attack animation that the Ravager does, so it does the stun, and if any players are obviously around, now obviously you can see it's not that overpowered. Now, as I'm thinking, it shouldn't be on your attack key, because then obviously it means you can't swing, so maybe it could replace the jump button, because there is no jump with a Ravager. But the reason it's very balanced is, A, it doesn't really do that much damage. If I was to get, for example, a sheep or something, so let's quickly just do that. If I was to spawn a sheep around here, jump on the Ravager and attack this sheep, you can see the sheep can move out its way. Most mob in the game can move before you attack. And if I just spawn a few more, I want to try and hit one. You can see it doesn't really do that much damage to the mob. I think I'm going to hit that one. Yes, there we go. You can see it doesn't one-hit a sheep. But also another way it's balanced is when you start attacking, you cannot move. I'm holding my W key and I'm not going anywhere until I stop doing the attack animation. Which once again, I think is very balanced, because if you could continuously move while you're attacking, you can then obviously just chase down a mob until you hit them. But making the Ravager go in a stunned state while it's attacking makes more sense, because it's obviously doing its animation. Now, obviously, I haven't fully polished this mod for the vanilla game, and there's a lot of things I could change. But let's also not forget about the Illusioner. The Illusioner is within the base game, but it doesn't spawn naturally. It also doesn't have a spawn egg. It can only be gotten in Java Edition with /summon unless you use mods or anything. But the Illusioner has some unique attacks as well. It obviously attacks with a bow, but its main attack is the fact that it can duplicate and create illusions of itself. So if I quickly just punch it, there we go, you can see it's now created illusions. And once again, Minecraft have said they did plan to add this, I think like back in 1.12, but they didn't like the design of it, so they'll revisit it in the future. And we are now on 1.21.6. and they haven't revisited the mob just yet. So once again, it would be really cool to see this added, and once again, this is pretty much complete unless they rework it inside of the game. Now, I've showed off all the ones that had spawn eggs, but there was one I forgot to add a spawn egg for. But before I quickly showcase this, let me quickly explain why I've added this one. Now, Illagers are obviously known as aggressive mobs. If you go near them as a player, they are going to attack you. It would be really cool if inside of the game there was a Illager that was passive towards players. And that is, in this case, the Mountaineer, which you can see once again is from Minecraft Dungeons. Now, these don't have any cool items or weapons, but they could maybe have a new weapon like a crossbow, but maybe a different version, maybe a slingshot or something. And it would be really cool if they also had like a barter system or trading system where if you done something for them, they would then give you maybe the slingshot or another item. This could possibly add to lore of villagers, and maybe at one point in the game they were passive and then something happened to turn them aggressive. Or maybe this one just don't like following the lead with the other villagers. Now, these currently are completely passive. They don't attack anything. As you can see, if I go in survival mode, they will just basically ignore me. And this would also be a good way to implement the passive pillagers, because currently there is a bug inside of the game where you can make a pillager break its crossbow, making it passive. Well, this would be a way to do that without the exploit of a bug. But I definitely do think Minecraft could expand upon Illagers so much more. But now Minecraft have moved to the drop system, it would be really cool for them to focus a drop on Illagers, adding new Illager types, items, and things like that. If you have any suggestions on how these guys can be improved, do let me know in the comments. And I'll obviously look at the best ones and possibly implement them for the full release. But anyway, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed, do like and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys in another one very soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!